We start with the algorithm complexity today. So, algorithm complexity can be the computational complexity of a computer, and it is based on the time and space requirement to solve a problem using an algorithm. So, that means that in order to solve a computational requirement of a algorithm, time and space requirements are the important factor. And when we reduce the complexity of an algorithm, we can say that that algorithm has been a better algorithm as compared to the one which is having more complexity. So if the complexity is less, the algorithm is better. So when we talk about complexity, we always talk about the time and space requirements. Suppose in relation to that, we can say that suppose for a given problem of say size n is the number of computations which are being required in that particular algorithm. The time required for solving a problem using a specific algorithm can be expressed as a function f, which is dependent upon certain factors. It can be size, it can be memory. So fn can be said as a time which is needed by algorithm to solve a problem of size n. If a problem is of size n, that means it can have n as the memory requirement or the space requirement. So it can be said as the total number of inputs which are being required. So n can be said as the total number of inputs. So for algorithm m, it can also be defined as the complexity is a function fn where the running time and the memory space are required for the input data of the size n. So the size of the input data can be like n, and based on this, the complexity is defined as this function fn. So fn represents that function which is referring to the complexity. And generally, we talk about the running time as the complexity of the algorithm because memory requirement is also an important factor, but mostly we refer to it as the running time. So if a program contains a loop, because generally we have certain statements or certain programs which can have loops, and there can be some programs which doesn't have loops because loops are a different type of structures which contains n number of statements based on the ending of that loop or based on that the counter of that loop. So in normal programs, if a statement is there, it can be executed only once, but looping statements are executed n number of times as per the size of that loop. So there is a difference while calculating the running time of a particular algorithm based on the loops as well as the statements which doesn't contain loop or the programs which doesn't contain loop. So f will depend on the number of key statements if it doesn't contain a loop, and f will depend on the number of key statements which are being processed as part of the loop if it is containing a loop. If a program contains loop as well as normal statements, so it can be measure of both the things, like things which are important in the loop and things which are also important in the normal program. So mostly we can say that it is running time is calculated based on the count of the total number of key statements, whether they are part of the loop or the normal statements. Like suppose we are ending a loop with parenthesis. So parenthesis cannot be said as a important statement or like a statement which requires some time to execute because it is just the ending of that particular block of execution. So suppose for example, if we analyze the algorithm based on this criteria, this is the algorithm in which we are finding the minimum out of all the elements of an array. It can be of any type. Suppose we are comparing the elements one by one. First, we are initializing the first element of the array inside this variable m. This is the first step, and it is referring to the assignment operation. So it is also a key statement. Then second statement is like starting a loop from second location to n because the first element is already in a variable m, which is representing the minimum variable. So we start with the second statement and we will go up to the n, that is the size of the array, or you can say the input size. Then for every iteration, what we'll be performing is we are comparing the element, like the second element of array is compared with the current value of m, which is holding the value a1. a1 is part of m right now. So a2 will be compared with a1. If a2 is less than a1, that means your minimum is different one. Initially we have assumed that the first element is minimum, but if we find a element which is lower than that, we'll replace it with the previous one. So previous one will be replaced with the new one. So This is also again an assignment operation. So if we perform this algorithm one by one, so we need to have to calculate the running time based on our requirement. So running time here can be said as the TN, total number of computation steps or primitive operations executed before termination. So first step is like this one. This is the first step. So as it is a single step, so its running time we consider as 1. It will be executed once, so it will be considered as 1 only. So we can represent it as 1. Next is we have for loop and if statement combined together. So as the for loop starts, so for loop plus n minus 1 if conditions plus n minus 1 assignment conditions are executed n number of times. For loop will be executed n number of times because it will go up to n, and n minus 1 if conditions are executed and n minus 1 assignment operation. This is assignment. This is if statement in which we are checking the condition. So we'll check the condition n minus 1 number of times, and assignment operation also is performed n minus 1 number of times in the maximum case. Like suppose our minimum is at the last, so maximum it will be performed by n minus 1 number of times, because initially how we can know that while writing a program that the minimum will be at the middle or at the last. So we assume that if suppose it is at the last, how much computations are performed in order to achieve that requirement. So if the element is at the last, so every time this statements get executed, this if condition gets executed, will be again executing the assignment operation. So that's why it is also same as number of if statements executed. So it will be n minus 1 as well as this will be n minus 1. And for loop will be n because when the last statement is there, like n goes to last element, so it will again check for that condition, and when the for loop becomes false, it will also check for that condition. So it will go up to the number of items plus 1. So that's why it is starting from 2. So it will include n minus 1 items initially because 1 is already considered here. So it is starting from 2 to n. If we include n, so it will be n minus 1 total number of steps. But it will execute once more in order to come out of the loop, because when the last condition is checked, it will be false condition. So it will come out of that loop based on that. So it will again perform one more computation. So n minus 1 plus 1 will give me n. That's why for loop is used as n. So if we add up all these, we'll get the value as 3n minus 1. So that will be the total number of steps required for executing that particular program, total number of running time. Because running time is calculated based on the count of number of key operations. So key operations are like assignment is a key operation, starting of loop and checking condition is key operation. This comparison is also key operation, and this assignment is also key operation. So based on that, we'll have calculated as 3n minus 1 total number of computation steps are required to perform this. So this is how we can analyze a normal algorithm based on the requirement. Now go to the next algorithm. Let us take another example. Suppose then algorithm is to calculate the average. So initialize sum with 0. Sum is a variable which we have initialized with 0. This is the pseudo code which we are writing. Then initialize I variable, addition variable with 0. Then we will check the condition while I is less than n is the size of that particular statements in which we are going to, or the n is the size of the input. And then we add this x to that xi. Xi is basically the array which we are referring to store the data to sum. And then we increment I by 1, and then we calculate and return the mean. So average calculate karenge aur return kar denge. So all these steps are part of that algorithm. Now we have to check the algorithm's running time. So in generally the method says that if it is a linear loop, like a loop in which every time an increment is by 1 and it is based on the data size which can be of limit n. So for linear loop, the by default size is n. Or we can say like first for this statement, 1 for this statement, n computation for this statement, and 1 for this. So total will be n plus 3, but generally n or n plus 3 means the same thing. We'll discuss that later on also. So it will be like n plus 3. So if we add something to n, it will always become 3. So total amount of steps required to perform this operation will be n plus 3, because this while loop will be executed. So this statement is also 1, and this is also, and this is also. So this is how the running time is being calculated. There is another method by which we can calculate the running time like this, which we have already discussed. 1 plus 1 plus n plus 1 plus n plus n, which should be small case, means the same thing, and this is 1. So total time will be 3n plus 4. Like if we say that in the previous case, this is 1, this is 1, so that's why the first two statements are referred as 1, 1, 2. And then we have n as the ending index, so I is starting from 0, it is going less than n, so it will be like total number of statements which will be checking is total n, starting from 0 to n minus 1 basically. So n minus 1 plus 1 for this particular 0, so that will become n. But once, in order to execute or end this while loop, we need to check once more. So n plus 1 will be the total number of computations required here. So that's why it is n plus 1. But for the last statement where the while loop is ending, this statement will not be executed. Similar is the case with increment statement. It will not be executed. So it will be n and n for both. That's why here we have n and n. And last statement is like calculate and return. So that will be another statement which will be like 1. So it is total is 3n's plus 4. So that's why this computation time is 3n plus 4. This is another way. We'll discuss that how directly it is saying as n. We'll discuss this first method in the next part. Although I have shown it here, but it will be discussed or cleared more way in the next part.